everyone. Welcome to the Call of Duty Clan Hub podcast. This is week 1. My name is Kevin, and I'm here with my co-host, Ryan.
Hello there. So, Kevin, on a serious note, what are your opinions on the supply drop system in Modern Warfare Remastered?
Specifically, if we're speaking about Modern Warfare here, the whole issue I have with it is based kind of the way, it was advertised as, remastered.
But it's not.
Correct. The problem with it is that, a remastered game is basically what it was before, just with better graphics, better textures, things like that. The problem with this game is that it has stuff added to it that was not in the original game. So it's not really a remastered game. It was really advertised incorrectly.
I agree, but I don't agree at the same time.
How so?
The game was advertised to be with cosmetic items only, which it was. Well, actually,
right.
To be fair, it wasn't. It wasn't, and it originally wasn't. I'm wrong, actually. Excuse me. It was advertised to be exactly the same. Am I right?
Right, which is the exact issue. They started out,
it's supposed to be remastered.
Into it. Right, they eased us into it with the the melee weapons and the fact you can switch to just melee, which brings you back to the Black Ops 3 days. Right, it was it was kind of okay. It was still kind of frustrating that in a remastered game they're going to add stuff like that, but they started out with the little things and now they're moving to just full on weapons, DLC weapons in supply drops. Not just out of the game. You have to get it in a supply drop.
Exactly, and that's my issue with it. It was the same with Black Ops 3 when they said it was only going to be cosmetic items only. And then, look what happened. We were greeted with the melee weapons, not melee. Do you call it melee or melee or melee?
We call it melee.
You call it melee, right? Just for any viewers, I'm British and he's American. We say things differently. Don't want to get that confused. Just wanted to point that out. On a serious note, though, I was saying? I forgot what I was saying. Would you like to continue your topic?
Yeah. So I mean, with these little DLC, the fact that if they added the weapons even without the supply drops, because most people are thinking the supply drops are the main issue, which I can understand and agree with to a point. But the real issue is the fact that they're adding things at all in the first place, whether it be from supply drops or not. Even if it was just normal DLC or just free add-ons, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't be done. This game was our childhood. I played this as a kid. I can remember waking up wanting to play this before I go to school, something like that. And now I look at it like this doesn't even feel like the same game, and it's supposed to be a remastered version of the game. It just doesn't make any sense.
I agree. But a question I have is that how can I word this without making it sound a bit weird? But if you had to choose two things and you can only choose one, should I say, but two options and you can only choose one, what do you think ruins Call of Duty the most? A, the advanced movement system, which they introduced with Advanced Warfare, or 2, the supply drop system, which, funnily enough, was also introduced in Advanced Warfare?
This is a very good question. I like the wording of it. The issue of it is the answer for this question is going to be different for different people. But the issue is everyone's going to have an answer, which really tells you that for some people it's one, for other people it's the other. For me personally, I think it's more of the advanced movement system just because I know that I enjoyed boots on the ground a lot. But I know a lot of people that, find it more enjoyable or just started out with, the advanced movement and they like that.
Yeah, the younger generation.
Right. That and even some other people that just, enjoy the advanced movement, which I'm not mad about or anything like that at all. I completely respect that. The problem is that nowadays with especially with the last 3 Call of Duties, there's always something for any person you ask, whatever it be. If it's not the same as what I think, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Of course.
But there's always something in the reasoning why they don't like the Call of Duty as a whole. They just don't like it. I don't really like this game. Not this feature. They say, I don't like this game because of this feature.
Mm-hmm.
So they're features like supply drops, the advanced movement to try to further the game, progress it, and make it, more than it was the previous year. But in doing so, they didn't really listen to the community, enough to really make those decisions. And they just kind of made them thinking that they'd be the right idea, when really that's not what we wanted at all. Like, Call of Duty should never have had advanced movements, in my opinion. Again, this is my opinion. Like, if you think something different, absolutely, let us know what your thoughts are. But in my opinion, adding these advanced movements, it doesn't feel like Call of Duty. Like, the whole point of Call of Duty, I mean, it started in like World War era, and has Vietnam and stuff like that, which is really serious topics. And now we have, like Advanced Warfare, where you're running around with a clown mask on. Like, how do we get from point A to this point? Like, how does that even happen? Where in your development cycle does this happen? Is it because of Activision, which I think it is?
Oh, of course it is.
I think it's because
we have the proof of that though through Advanced Warfare, because I don't know if you ever heard of this back in the day when Advanced Warfare was, I don't know if it was just before it came out or after, but there was a statement by Michael Condrey, and he said that originally Sledgehammer Games planned to make a Vietnam War based era game,
right?
And Activision told them they wanted a futuristic one.
Which is outlandish. How can it's ridiculous to me that the publisher has that much power. I mean, I understand why, but you got to think the developers know what they're doing. They've been doing it. Why would you do something that could be that risky on a franchise this huge?
Yeah,
like, look at the numbers.
Activision owns them. It's not like Activision and Bungie, for example. Bungie make their own decisions, but Activision is their publisher, but they aren't exactly owned by Activision. They aren't controlled. Right. Same with Blizzard. Blizzard is owned by Activision, but Activision don't control them, if that makes any sense. Whereas it's a bit different with Call of Duty.
For sure.
It's a complicated kind of topic, but it's the way it is. It's Activision own them. They make the decisions, if that makes any sense.
That makes sense. And I mean, it's just ridiculous how much power they have over them. Like, if you were to take each one of the three developers and just tell them to make a game, somehow get them funding, not from Activision, just straight up funding to make a game, I think that they would make a boots on the ground Call of Duty that is just really, really good. You put in Activision and it ruins everything.
Hasn't there already been rumors about that though, with Treyarch and Zombies?
That I have not heard.
Really? I've heard about that before, where Treyarch wanted to kind of drop off the cycle and make their own kind of games. Obviously with a different publisher, but they wanted to drop off of Activision and kind of create a zombies-inspired game, because that's what they thought was funding them the most.
That I have not heard of. However, speaking of zombies, with Infinite Warfare, the only thing that stands out to me is the zombies. Like, literally, the only thing that stands out as good is the zombies. And the zombies in that game are incredible. The theming, just the whole storyline, it's so well done.
It's more because it's a retro feel. It's something that Call of Duty hasn't ever seen before. But they still have the core movement system. And I think that's what people like the most. Like, for example, in Black Ops 3, when we first were releasing zombies, I think people's biggest fears of the game was that Treyarch were going to implement the advanced movement system in zombies, and that was freaking people out.
Right, which is why I love that, because like, they don't have the exosuits. They're just, people on the ground, boots on the ground. And the fact that I like the secondary game mode in the newest Call of Duty, and that one happens to not have advanced movements, and the fact that I don't really even play zombies that much anymore. I used to a little bit, but like now I don't. And if I were to pick up the game right now, I would want to play the game in the style that Zombies is in, not the actual multiplayer game, because it's not as fun.
I know.
And
anyway.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. Another topic that I really wanted to cover here on the first week of our podcast here is clan wars. This is where all of us have our roots, well, maybe not our roots, clans in general. That's how we have our roots in Call of Duty and like the family that is clans.
It kind of is my roots though, because in Advanced Warfare, obviously I only joined Clan Wars in Advanced Warfare, halfway through Advanced Warfare, and I can honestly say I never played a Call of Duty more than I did Advanced Warfare because of Clan Wars. It was just the most fun thing to do. It was competition. It wasn't just casual pub stomping, get rage quitting. You know, it was fun. It was something to do with a bunch of people in a community that cared so much about each other. It wasn't just trash talkers.
Right. We had rivalries. We had intense moments.
Exactly.
People could tell when clan wars were going on the servers, which was insane. You'd literally hop on and be like, oh, here's a bunch of clans. Everyone has the same clan tag on that team.
Everybody back out.
So cool. Right. People would legitimately back out during these weekends that were clan wars were going on. That's how, that's how impactful it was. It affected the servers. So the fact that, if you hear some things saying that the clan wars are gone because like the servers and how it affected them, but I don't really know why that would be like a big effect, because they should just increase the servers and allow it to happen even more, because that's increasing like the popularity of it.
Exactly. Like I really wish that Activision or whoever the hell decided to cancel clan wars as a whole would actually bring out a statement as to why they removed it. Was it something to do with the servers being stressed out too much? Was it to do with like the way it was, made, that you had to be in a pub,
or like funding or something like
publication.
That? Right. The fact that they haven't given us like a concrete answer about it is just a slap in the face.
That was the end of it. There was nothing else about it. There was no. All it was that Beach. What was it? What was the name?
It was Beachhead Studios. Yeah.
Beachhead Studios would just said it's over, bye.
Which is just ridiculous. Like they're most likely not even a studio anymore. And man, the amount of good times I had with Clan Wars and just being in a clan. I remember the first time that I joined a clan. It was in Call of Duty Ghosts, and I was sitting in my dorm freshman year of college. I was on my friend's PlayStation. He actually let me play it that day. If I had not been allowed that, I would never have been in the clan community at all, which is crazy to think. I might be stretching it there, but it was the PlayStation 3. And I was playing Call of Duty Ghosts before the PS4 was even out. And I got invited into a clan. It was called GGR. This is the first clan I was ever in. Was in there for a little bit. It was Global Genocide Regime.
Sorry?
It's a great name. It was Global Genocide Regime.
I heard you, but sorry.
Right. Right. Anyways, I mean, it was an interesting name. It had some other iterations back in like Modern Warfare 2 and stuff. They actually originated Killzone. But this clan, we had some issues. Ended up becoming a lieutenant commander in that clan, but had some issues, so we ended up splitting. Me and some people on the PS4 side, because I ended up moving over to the PS4 when I got one.
Yeah, I think you were telling me this story.
Yeah, and it's a cool story. So what we did was we formed a called it VOV, and for those of you who don't know, I'm in VOV. It's called Vanguard of Vengeance. I'm second in command of this clan.
I wasn't.
I mean, you're still in it essentially, but I mean, when our first game that we had, we won a game of domination, 200 to 199. And I mean, the feeling of thinking that we were going to lose our first game as a clan, it was late at night, it'd been a while, but the fact that I thought we were going to lose and then we came back, that comeback feeling during situations like that is just incredible. In a clan war, on like your first game as a clan, things like that, the feeling is amazing. Like the best feeling I ever had in a clan, like the best moment that I can remember is in VOV, and it was our second battle royale. So I was
Is that when I joined by any chance?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
So this clan war, I wasn't playing. I was watching it on stream and helping a little out on the actual war board, letting them know what's being captured and things like that.
Yeah.
So they're playing a game mode, and this is within the last 30 minutes of the war, and we're losing.
Oh, barely. I remember this.
Yes.
This was amazing.
It was. So I had them switch game modes in the middle of the game, back out, switch it, because I knew that we'd only be able to win by taking a specific game mode.
That was a massive risk.
We ended up winning the last game that gave us that node to win the war.
It was literally minutes before the clan wars ended. 10
or 20 seconds before the clan war ended.
Literally.
And it went through. And whenever I saw that number go up and that node capped, in my dorm room, just sitting in my dorm room, I'm by myself, but there was some people next to me in the dorms next to me. I jumped out of my chair and screamed, shit you not. I jumped out and I was yelling so loud, and it was so cool. The feeling of that was incredible, and the fact that I know I'll never have that back, because in my opinion, with all that we've tried to do with this, I don't think the clan wars are coming back, and that's sad.
Yeah, I know. I remember that moment because we were. What was it? Well, I can't even talk. Are we up? Were we on Team Deathmatch? Where we were getting capped and then we kept taking it and then they kept capping it again.
That was one of the game modes we had to struggle with on that one. There was a lot of back and forth, but the fact that we won that war was incredible. It was so cool. And, all the rivalries that took place there, and all the clans that I can just think of right now. I'm not going to name some out because I'm not going to be able to name them all, and I don't want to miss people out. Yeah. But I can think of a ton of them off name, and whenever we get into lobbies, I'm like, oh, here's this clan, just from their clan tag. And that's just cool.
Yeah, I remember my first clan. The clan name was YKYD. I think you remember this, Kevin, because this is how I actually met you. The clan name was YKYD, stands for You Know You'll Die. Cringy, I know. Sorry, guys. It's not actually a clan anymore, so I can say stuff about it. It was a good clan anyway. It was full of older people. I'm just going to say that because I was the youngest in there. And it kind of just turned into a bit of a... the owner of the clan, I'm not going to say his name for obvious reasons, but he kind of tried to turn the clan into more of a professional thing, and he introduced like contracts and all this stuff, and the clan members never really followed it, and in the end actually every single clan member but one got kicked out because of that contract team decided to implement. Funny story. So that clan is now no longer a thing. But I'm glad about that because then I joined VOV. I met Kevin, I met Vile Self, I met all the awesome people over at VOV, and then we ended up making COG Clan Hub, me and Kevin. Well, Kevin already had it, but we decided to completely rebrand when we split off from I'm not going to say a partnership, but was going to be in a partnership with Clan Chat, and it was going to be turned into Clan Info. And that didn't really work out, so we split off and we decided we were gonna create a whole new website of COG Clan Hub, and this is where we are today.
And I think it's been turning out pretty great.
Definitely.
I think it looks awesome. I'm so glad that this that this website is a thing. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, or even Ryan's here, but like I'm just glad that it exists, because in the past, there wasn't anything there for that purpose. So now we've got, we can view all the clans. If you don't have one, there's a place for that. Just come on to calldutyclanhub.com, if you want to have competition, we have that now. It doesn't have to be like a tournament. You can do a tournament if you want, for sure. Exactly. So we're looking into stuff all the time for the future. We're always looking into things and thinking about things, how we can improve ourselves, which is why we started challenges with the alpha. Essentially a beta, more like, because of the amount of participation in it, which, by the way, thank you guys. I mean, the participation is awesome, and I just love seeing your guys' tweets about finishing the challenges and all that. It's just so cool, the community participation in this. I want to thank all of you guys for that, anyone out there that participates in them. And if you don't and you're unaware of it, go to calldutyclanhub.com, check out the challenges. You can join anytime. Doesn't cost anything at all. Just play some games, have some fun, have a goal for it, try to make it more.
And it seems like Kevin has dropped out there. Sorry about that.
I am.
There you go. He's back.
Sorry about that. So, I mean, at its core, I think that as of right now, the state that Call of Duty is in right now is not a good one. We have clans dropped off. We have people not even in clans, regardless of that issue, not liking Call of Duty because of the movement system, the supply drop system. So the whole thing about it going back to the roots, I really hope that they're being accurate, because what the roots means to me is no supply drops. Okay, no supply drops at all, just none. No advanced movement. just, normal core gameplay, set it in the current time or in the past, something like that. Just make it a fun game, make it fun for everybody to play and have some competition in there as well. You have to have that. Like right now, I don't really even, I know there's a competitive, playlist for Infinite Warfare, but it's not even something that I even bother even trying. Like I've actually gone back as soon as yesterday, actually, and played ranked mode on Advanced Warfare with my clan. And we've gone on to Call of Duty Ghosts even. We've gone back to there. And the fact that we can go back to there and find lobbies.
And still have fun.
Right, and still have fun. That's
all
the
these
word.
Years later, you can still have fun. That's
right.
What was amazing about it. And I understand that people think that the advanced movement system that Advanced Warfare introduced, I know we're going back into an old topic here, but I feel like the advanced movement system that Advanced Warfare brought to the table, even though it was advanced, as they call it, it still felt like Call of Duty. And I don't understand why, when you look at Advanced Warfare compared to the likes of Infinite Warfare, for example, why it just doesn't feel like Call of Duty.
That is something that I actually agree with you on, and it's something that I don't really bring up because I don't know how to explain it.
Exactly. It's so weird, but
right.
it's a thing, and I don't understand why.
It is very strange. And even Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 felt pretty nice, but for some reason it felt a little off. And then Infinite Warfare just completely out of the line. And one of the reasons I'm thinking it's part of it is actually like the specialist weapons and the rigs and things like that. Like they're unnecessary. I don't really know why. I mean, I understand they added them into the game for like basically to make the games more complex, add more things into it, to make it bigger and better than the next Call of Duty. But more doesn't always mean better.
Better, yeah.
It's not how it works. It's quality over quantity.
Yeah. A random question though. I know this is going to sound really weird, but regardless, let's go back to when Modern Warfare Remastered was first released. Does that game to you feel like a normal Call of Duty?
Modern Warfare, like the first one?
No, the remastered.
The remastered?
Before all the supply drops.
Right. It feels different.
It does.
And the reasoning isn't right. And the reasoning is not completely because it was, made by a different, studio with Raven remastering it.
Raven is amazing studio.
Right. Some things are a little bit different about the game, but that's not the difference. The difference is because of these past 3 Call of Duties, your people's play styles have changed completely. Yeah. I mean, 360.
I didn't even think of that. You're actually 100% correct.
So people are rushing in. Like in Modern Warfare, you would have people sitting in the back sniping. You really can't do that.
Me. That's me.
Someone will come up from behind you and knife you right in the ass every single time. It just happens. And it's crazy. The fact that these games... So it kind of makes me scared because if we go back to boots on the ground, is that going to be affected and not work because of, like how it's affected gameplay with the previous games with the advanced movement systems?
Could it be the end for Call of Duty as we know it?
I don't think so. I definitely don't think it's the end. I think that, Sledgehammer, they made a good game last time, and it was advanced movements. So, and I mean, I know some people don't like it. You have your own opinion. Perfectly fine. I respect that.
I love it.
Right. Which, I like that game. It's fun.
For a developer who
I actually went
it
back.
was their first time developing for Call of Duty, they did a fucking amazing job of it.
Absolutely.
Down to Sledgehammer games.
For sure. And I mean, going back, I actually, it was about 2 weeks ago, I went and bought Advanced Warfare at GameStop because I didn't have it anymore.
Shameless plug for shames to GameStop. Might we have, but not sponsored.
And it was pretty cheap, and I was like, sure, I'll buy it. And I bought that game. This is a good example here. I bought that game for $9 at GameStop, okay?
$9? Second hand?
$9.
What's second hand?
Correct.
Oh, that
and
makes sense.
I bought Infinite Warfare for the full price with Modern Warfare. I have more fun on that used copy of Advanced Warfare than I do on either Infinite Warfare or Modern Warfare Remastered combined. And that's sad.
I don't play Call of Duty anymore.
I mean, I wish I played it more, but that's how it's gotten. And I mean, hopefully, here's to the future, for Sledgehammer in the future. I hope that you guys are doing this correctly. Taking it back to the roots. I really hope that that's, the idea. So I think that we're going to conclude on that note. But what I want to do here, and it's going to be a usual thing for a podcast here each week, is I want to go ahead and invite you guys to ask us questions on Twitter. Just use the hashtag like podcast or Call of Duty Clan Hub Podcast, CCH Podcast, something like that, and just add us on Twitter and ask us some questions. Anything you have, whether it be related to our website, to our clans, to us, and us as individuals, either way, and we'll try and answer them each individual week that we do the podcasts.
Yeah, you can tweet or DM us directly on Twitter at CogClanHub. Also, just pointing that out.
So I mean, just everything going on. I really do hope that Call of Duty can, basically get the boots back on the ground, figuratively and literally, and just trudge through what mud they've caused and get out of it and come back out on top.
Yeah, but that's going to be tricky because, like you said, the playstyles have changed, people have changed, people have grown out of Call of Duty. Now people don't want to even be associated with it because of how it's become. This year has been the worst in sales for Call of Duty. But can they come back for next year? This year, sorry. We don't know. Really,
I think we can.
They have to do something amazing in order to bring back customers who just completely blew the game off because of the way it's turned. It's all pay to win. It's movement systems that people who grew up from all the way back from the original Call of Duty just don't like. How can they come back from that without completely ruining the game again?
That is a good question. And, let us know on Twitter, Also, alongside any questions, go ahead and add us. What do you think that they need to do? Not just boots on the ground. What do you think they really need to do in order to get everyone to come back? Not just make it better. Because even if they make a good game that may not... Right. Even if they make a game, that doesn't guarantee that everyone's going to come back, that have already had enough of it. So we're going to leave this episode off with this question here. What do you think Call of Duty needs or doesn't need and needs to be taken out completely? And be pretty specific. Let us know. Don't be afraid to share your opinions. We respect everyone's opinions here. So follow us at COD Clan Hub on Twitter. You can go to our website, check that out as well if you haven't already. Sign up your clan if you have one. Any clans open up to join. There's some speculations on there that you can follow to see what's going on. Message us and let us know what you think Call of Duty needs or needs to be taken out to make it great again.
Yeah, so we'll go through them, and any good answers we'll be sure to talk about them on the podcast next week.
Exactly. So I wanna wish you guys have a great week and keep on trucking on in Call of Duty and just keep on doing it.
Keep plodding on.
All right. Well, this is Call of Duty Clan Hub signing off.
Adios, amigos.